In our culture, everything is based on success. But what is success? Who defined it? Who decided that success was the goal instead of fulfillment? What happens if we shake up that definition? What if we make our own definition of success? My name is Tony Grebmeyer, and on this podcast, I'm going to dig deep into the real stories behind success. Join me as I interview other entrepreneurs who've climbed up Success Mountain and have come back down to share their stories so you can succeed. If you're ready to join a community of other entrepreneurs redefining success and finding fulfillment, go to BeFulfilledLife.com and join the community. Now, let's dive into today's show.
Welcome to Be Fulfilled. It is the real stories behind success. I'm your host, Tony Grebmeyer, your Sherpa up Success Mountain today. What a great guest. You know, that's one thing I love about the show. The people will come when the show is right, and this guest is right for this show. Pen and paper, definitely something you're going to need with you. He's committed to helping others through major transitions in their lives, not only as a real estate agent, but in how he shows up in his daily life. Troubled by challenges he saw within the real estate industry, he became committed to revolutionizing the way real estate is done, something that I've seen firsthand. And his startup is focused on making real estate agents most efficient by helping them delegate the one task that requires the majority of their time, the task of showing homes. Patrick Laurienti lives, breathes, and loves real estate, and he has been awarded the National 5-Star Professional Award by his peers and is a repeated top producer at his company. Please welcome to the show, my dear friend, Patrick Laurienti.
Thank you so much, Tony. Super excited to be here, man.
Hey, you know something about real estate, and you know that right now there's never been a more interesting time in the real estate industry than right now. I mean, what people are seeing is houses come on the market and gone before the day's even done.
Yep.
But I want to talk about all that and get to a lot of insight today around kind of you as an individual. And what the show is all about, you know, the real stories behind success, the story about making you who you are and what you do. So the one question everybody gets is, what is your definition of success?
It's a great question. My definition of success is, I've always said it from the beginning, but happiness. But I would add to it happiness and the pursuit to something bigger than yourself.
I like that. I mean, I think when you draw down happiness, right? I've always kind of equated happiness as to like an elusive state that comes and goes. It's like your car gas tank. It fills up and then it empties out, and you're always trying to figure out how to get more. Right? You just want more. You need more gas to get more mileage so you can have more runway so you can go more places, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. But I also love that pursuit, right? They're like, what a great visual today for all of us, wherever we're at on our journey, is like, you know, I'm a guy, like there's always something. But what in this very moment right now, Patrick, has most of your attention? What would you say is like right now in your life got most of your attention?
Besides my two kiddos, one's 8 months and one's 2.5, and wife and family, I'd say the biggest thing that's got my attention right now is just myself, the inner journey of working through some patterns that don't quite serve me, and I call it my relentless pursuit to growth. That's probably the thing I'm most focused on right now.
What are some things that have been that kind of have showed up for you during this interesting year?
Yeah, it's been a crazy one. I will say, from starting the year with a tremendous amount of momentum for the startup, a tremendous amount of excitement for what the plan was and where we were going, to having my baby, number 2, getting my normal flipped upside down for a week, which is all I thought it would be, to COVID hitting the next week. And about 2 weeks after that, my startup not being able to actually run because you couldn't show home. So it's been a roller coaster year, more so for me personally than my business. Show was kind of a roller coaster, but the real estate business, will hit a record high. For me though, however, becoming a dad to kiddo number 2, balancing the businesses, potentially launching my coaching program as a real estate agent. There were so many things that came up for me. Just the fight to be better and to be where I thought I should be. in not being content with life and enjoying the things around me and in loving where I am and enjoying that journey. I had to kind of relearn that, which was super important because I would say July was probably one of the hardest months I've had in maybe my whole life, but definitely this year internally, I was just a mess. Every day I woke up, I was unhappy, unfulfilled, questioning everything, didn't feel worthy, didn't feel good. Business was booming. Family was great. I had no reason to feel this way. And finally took a hike in Boulder, took the day and just dove into myself and had probably the most euphoric, happy, joyful, peaceful months I've had ever in my life in August. And I just, I think broke the attachment to who I thought I should be and where I thought I should be, and just really started enjoying life and just understanding that I didn't need all those things I thought I needed to feel joy and peace and love. And once that dawned on me, I realized I could feel joy, peace, and love and all those things that I was chasing once I accomplished something certain, and realized that I could start feeling those emotions now and just being grateful for, the fact that I did wake up and that I do have businesses to make decisions on. I do have a family to raise and create new memories with. So it's a very long-winded answer, but 2020 has been quite the year for internal growth.
No, I appreciate you sharing. One thing that's apparent is like this desire, right? You have this desire for more, right? You talk about it in the pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of kind of, you've got a great wife, you got great kids, great business, but then you got to look at that person in the mirror and you're not liking maybe or seeing something that you definitely want to see. So you decide to make change, right? And so for as simple as for you, it was to go for a little hike, come back with the just like, all right, what are some things that you've done to help yourself so you don't fall back into that kind of like, I call that where we can literally kind of hurt ourselves without realizing it, that just maybe we're extending ourselves in too many areas and we're forgetting to take care of ourselves.
Yeah. Great question. And I'm notorious for overextending myself. And I have fallen back into, certain things throughout August to now. But I'd say the number one thing that's helped me, continue to go back to that place of fulfillment is just, it's what I call the relentless pursuit to growth. I mean, I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with just, becoming a better version of me, having a deeper and better relationship with my wife. Even if I think I'm a great leader and father, like how can I be better? How can I learn more about myself so that my kids can love themselves more? And so it's this relentless pursuit to growth that I have. And I've always had it in just how I show up every day and wanting to be, I don't know if I like the word better, but, different.
Yeah. I mean, look, life is a bunch of things. We're just trying to figure out how to do better, right? In my opinion, right? Like yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's way too far for me to like spend any time thinking about it. But if I'm present with you in this moment, my life works, right?
Yes.
My life just works. Things just matter, and I can feel the vibration of your energy. And look, you're, if you're watching the video or listening on the podcast, Patrick's, got a house and he's, have some people helping him in his basement right now. Like, and he's sitting in like a closet, basically, doing the podcast. And that also tells me the desire of a human, right? To figure it out, find a way, not an excuse, like to live like in the presence of greatness and being grateful for the ups and downs and all the blessings. If they're good or bad, they're still blessings. You just have to find the silver lining in it. So, the year of 2020 for you sounds like it's been just a really learning experience for you, learning how to father two kids,
Mm-hmm.
It's easy. I always tell my wife, I said, it's easy when you can hold both of their hands. Right. But then one day, if you had so many kids and you can't hold their hands and you're like trying to like wrestle dogs or cats and trying to hold your kids and grab them all together, like it's hard because there's more of them than there is of you. And so what about kids? You can have more?
Yeah, I am. sometime. She keeps telling me every day, I got baby fever. I'm like, well, I can't relate, but I know I want more. I come from bigger families, so getting together for Christmas and stuff, it's just so fun with all the cousins and aunts and uncles. And so we'll definitely have more, but we'll see when the time comes.
Hey, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come right back with Patrick Laurienti today. We're chatting about some really simple things, but that are really, really important. And that's getting back to the basics. And just getting back to the basics and admitting to yourself, like, hey, I'm on my journey. I'm gonna have days where I don't feel like running my best race. And I'm also gonna have days where I'm just out hustling and I'm gonna run past everybody because I'm committed. And there's no right, there's no wrong. There's just space that we are occupying. And our goal is to surround ourselves with some incredible people. And I'm so grateful that the universe put Patrick in my life at the right time and had a chance over the past several years to sit at a coffee top bar and have breakfast and just chat about life and see me in my best and see me at my worst. And you've been there to just show me that, you know what, it's really important to get around people that challenge you. And one thing that I'm going to help challenge you as you listen today is think of somebody in your life who's really helped you to grow and shoot them a text or a message today just to tell them thank you. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to come right back and Sherpa our way down Success Mountain with our special guest today, Patrick Laurienti, right here on the Be Fulfilled Podcast Show.
We're going to take a quick break, and since Tony's taking one, let's take one together. Let's take a deep breath. Wherever you are, feel those ribs expand, that chest lifts towards your chin. Let's do it now. That feels good, right? That's one of over 23,000 breaths you're going to take today. You don't even think about it. You focused on that one. That's life. That's rejuvenation. That's the moment right here. And thanks for doing that with me. We all matter. Those breaths matter. Let's remember them. And let's get back to the show.
Hey, we are back on the Be Fulfilled Podcast Show. My name is Tony Grebmeyer. Special guest today, Patrick Laurienti, a guy decided several years ago in the midst of just becoming a realtor and doing all his things that he needed more to do. So besides being married, father of two now, he put out an app and decided to create technology. And I got to tell you, man, some insight. I don't know where you had your finger on what pulse, but you kind of created something that's super helpful right now to realtors in this day and age. How is the whole show app and everything going?
Yeah, glad you asked. The concept as a whole is going great. I mean, you're seeing a lot of the same startup companies, tech companies, similar concepts popping up everywhere. You know, we started off the year just crushing it. January, February, March. Interesting thing happened with COVID in April to where you weren't allowed to show homes. So it was quite interesting figuring out how to pivot that. And, we built an online community, launched a podcast to keep people engaged. And, the whole mission for show, even though it was to help agents, in their time of need, if they couldn't be there to show a home, going deeper than that, it was to help them further their impact in this world. And so, we did a couple other cool things with the podcast and just building community and stuff. And so, it's been great kind of figuring out the landscape of how to pivot and stay relevant and still continue to make an impact in the industry. But it's been a super fun journey this far.
So give me a glimpse for just the average person who has no clue about the app and the technology. Give me and everybody a glimpse of what the app's main purpose is.
Yeah, it's to allow a real estate agent to be in two places at once. So if you're looking to buy a home, you need to see the home to buy it. And if your agent can't be there, how do they allow you to still go see the house? And that's just use the app, hire another agent to show up for them. And that way you still see the house, but they're able to, whatever it may be, take vacation, spend some more time with the family and make good on that commitment. And so the easiest way to explain and kind of get the concept out is Instead of getting on Uber and hiring a driver, a real estate agent's getting on show and hiring another agent to show them the house.
I love it. Hey, what kind of stuff are you reading these days? I love your mindset. Just curious, what are you reading these days?
Yeah, I'm almost all the way through Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza.
Well, what podcasts do you like to listen to besides your own?
Depends on the day and what I'm feeling. Obviously, Joe Rogan if I just want something entertaining, depending on his guests. And then one of the newer ones that I've really enjoyed is Mind Medicine, Taylor Welch. It's like 5-minute episodes. Those are really good.
Yeah. How important is quiet time for you? How important is getting still enough to just hear your own heartbeat?
Super important. Super important. I've got 2 kids, so we get up at 7, start breakfast at 7:30, and then I watch them from 8 to 9. So I've started waking up at 5 a.m. Never been a morning person, but I sure am now. Really solely because it's super important to spend time on yourself.
What is something that you've got on deck for the new year for you personally? What is something that you're committed to achieving in 2021 that you can declare right now on the show?
Launching my real estate coaching program.
So let's talk about that. What are you looking to do with it?
Yeah, I'll in terms of numbers, I want to go to 30K a month. I want to enable agents to become the best version of themselves and actually give them something tangible that they can take and grow their business with, not just, tactics like go do this, even though your personality doesn't fit that. It's like, let's dive in what your opportunities are based on your strengths and personality. And let's build a business that flourishes and not just give you coachable things to take and run. Like I want to dive in deep and be there along the journey with them. So likely going to do somewhat of a 90-day program, put something pretty incredible together that I've not seen to this point in the coaching realm of real estate. And the only reason I'm able to do that is just because I did it. And it's not like I did this 20 years ago. Like I just recently did it. Been in the business 6 years and have, created a good amount of success. And so, my mission has been ever since I was 17, 18 years old and I read Jack Canfield's Success Principles, dived in my purpose, and it's remained the same. And a part of that is to influence millions of people around the world to live a life to their true potential. And so, that's kind of the backbone of the coaching program. Even though it's real estate, it's bigger than that. So that's
how are people finding out about you? Like you have a website, like how are you driving people to kind of get on a call and learn more about if it's right for them?
Yeah. So 2021, I'm working with my marketing guys to create a website. Yes. Right now it's just organic through social media, building influence and producing content that's valuable. And then going to likely relaunch another podcast with a little bit different spin to it that's catered more towards the people I'm trying to influence. And then of course start a Facebook group to where I'm able to kind of give back and create community. So between those different channels, we should be able to bring a good amount of people in and around each other so that we can all grow together.
I like it. What's your website right now?
PatrickLaurienti.ColoradoHomeRealty.com. And January, February, we should have an actual personal Patrick Laurienti real estate website as well. But that's my company one, and they do a dang good job. So
I like it. Hey, what we're going to do is, if you're ready, I'm going to run you into the fulfillment round. A bunch of random questions, no rights, no wrongs. They're just answers. If you feel like it, make it up. You just can't pass. So basically, you have to give me an answer. Deal?
Done.
I just need you to say, I am ready.
I am ready.
And now it's time for the fulfillment round. No phoning friend, no using the Google machine, no digging into storage for the Encyclopedia Britannicas. And I promise Tony won't make you cry. And if you don't know the answer, just make it up. The fulfillment round brought to you by shipoffers.com for all your product and fulfillment needs. Now, Tony, you ready to ask some questions?
If you're going to go out on a run, where would I find you most likely? What kind of trail? Would you like to go where it's rocky? Would you like to go where it's smooth? What kind of trail do you feel like you'd like to get out on?
I'd rather dirt, mountain type of trails, but generally you're going to find me pounding pavement because I'm running through my neighborhood.
Okay. Sports, or what kind of sports are you into?
Hockey and football and UFC. I love UFC.
Okay. What's your favorite hockey team?
Colorado Avalanche, of course.
And then your favorite football team?
The Broncos.
But if you had to make one move to fix the Broncos, what move would you make?
Oh, man. I would go. We need a quarterback, but I think that starts with John Elway. So I don't know if it's fire John Elway and get a new GM, but I would like to go. I'd like to see John Elway go get James Winston. He was with the Bucks last year. I think we would be a completely different team.
The current quarterback lives right up the street from me.
Does he really? In your neighborhood?
Uh-huh.
That's hilarious.
All right. So you're going to make that move. So you'd go get that quarterback. Interesting. There's nothing wrong with him, right? Like sometimes you outgrow your current environment. What's something that you think you've outgrown recently in your life?
Drinking and, staying up to 12, 1 o'clock on Friday nights. I find much more joy in waking up at 5 a.m. still, just like I do on the weekly basis, and diving in and putting in the work because I feel good after it.
On the weekends or during the week, do I ever find you cooking in the kitchen? Is that something you enjoy doing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love grilling. And if I cook something perfect, you won't hear the end of it.
I love that. Hey, Patrick, I just want to say thanks for stopping by the show today. I know we gave everybody some good stuff. We'll drop your website in the show notes so you can check them out at TonyGrebmeyer.com. Click on Patrick's photo and you'll hear the episode and you get all the show notes that you're listening to right now. One quote that you live by today that you've heard that's inspired you.
There's I'm going to give two. One that has inspired me early on was you don't have to be great to start. You have to start to be great. That's been a big one for me because I've always been a perfectionist and, I need to get it right and talk to a bunch of people and figure out these things before I go. And it's like, there's nothing better than just going and figuring out all that stuff. And so that's been a good one for me. And then the next one's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And it's, see if I can get it correct without looking at it. It's to be yourself in a world where everyone's trying to make you into something different is one of your greatest strengths. And that just resonated with me really, really well, just because I think it's important for us to be ourselves. And it's super easy, especially in this day and age, to see social media and what other people are doing and, try to be something you're not. And so, I think it's important to just be self-aware and show up as you, unforgivably.
Man, I just want to say thanks for stopping by the show today. That's Patrick Laurienti. My name is Tony Grebmeyer. And until next time, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, choose to make today the absolute best day of your life.
Thanks for listening to today's show. But before you go, let me ask you a question. How would you like to be the architect of your journey in this game we call life? Take the next step now at www.tonygrebmeyer.com. Enter your details to get the first week of the Be Fulfilled Journal for free. It includes access to our private community of thousands of other entrepreneurs. It'll give you more clarity and freedom in your day. And it might just change your life forever.